Welcome everybody to this Leagues Cup 2025 official press conference after the match between Cruz Azul and Seattle Sounders. Today we welcome head coach Brian Schmetzer for Seattle Sounders. Coach, any opening statements?
No.
All right, questions? Jeremiah?
Did Miko start to raise his hand?
His arm's gonna get tired. The video, sorry.
So obviously, congratulations. A, have you ever seen anything like that? But B, is there almost a need to pull it back some, or do you just let it ride?
So I didn't actually know what I was going to say to them in the locker room, Jeremiah, because it was such a tremendous win for the club. In this club's history, it ranks right up there with all of the big wins that we've had. It's not in a championship match, so I would probably temper it with that. But it certainly was a hell of a performance.
Recording in progress.
What I would tell you, after the Club World Cup, we told the group, we said, hey, you guys have set a standard, and that standard is here. And so what I reminded them of, what came to my head when I was talking to the coaches before we talked to the team, was last year we beat LA in the first game, and then we fell over against Necaxa. And we had a pretty good performance against the Galaxy. And they've set another standard. And is it a similar standard than what we played in the Club World Cup? I mean, certainly the effort, the application, but we're playing against some of the best teams in the world. But we played against the CCC champions, and they're the best team in CONCACAF. And we scored 7. So let that sink in. So my job as a coach is to make sure that they enjoy this moment because they deserve it, because everybody played up to a higher level. And they need to enjoy it, and all of you need to enjoy it, and the fans needed to enjoy it. I don't think there's one person in this room that can write anything negative about this result. I don't think there is. Please tell me if you disagree. And then we will come back tomorrow, and we will make sure that they stay grounded because this is just the first game. And then the last thing I said to him is, I listened to Jesus' interview on the field. I listened to Albert's interview yesterday. I listened to the players, and they're actually driving this, Jeremiah. They're driving this. That group in there is completely together, motivated. They know they're a good team. They've overcome injuries and stuff, and just that's a motivated group. If you guys can't see it, then there's something wrong.
Coach, while we're staying on a high, what can you just say? They're all different goals, but I would assert the movement and the execution and the vision is the 3 underlying pieces in all these goals. Is that fair? And given what you're saying about
fair, maybe, but I can go through the goals because I had to go through the goals again because I couldn't remember.
That'd be great.
So Yaimar's on a corner kick, and some people were saying, well, we haven't scored on a corner kick. Well, we actually got 2. So Jesus is the 3rd goal. So Yaimar on the corner kick, and Jesus is when Christian flicks the ball. That's execution on the stuff that Andy and Rodrigo do every day. They put a lot of energy into that, and tonight it all came together. Albert's service is always good. So that's a plus and a shout out to the guys making sure that set pieces are an important part of the game. Obed has had 3 goals this year, and I believe that all 3 of them have been deflected. But I'm not going to take anything away from the kid because he could be the best player on that field. You could see the way he glides past people. I don't know why more people don't watch this and say, hey, that kid's worth 10, 12, $15 million. I don't know. Okay? Then you've got Ryan Kent that got a start today, and his pass to Osaze shows his class, his brilliance. Osaze coming on, making the most of his opportunities. I don't know why he pulled his shirt up for the yellow. I have no idea, but I'll talk to him about that, keep him grounded. And then you go to, let's go to Nuhu first. I give Danny Leyva a lot of credit because he's on the training field and he's practicing set pieces. and that's good on the kid, and he delivers a good ball. But I'm also going to give Nuhu credit, not just because he wants to score, because that's part of who he is, and he loves scoring, and he loves the attention, but it's also a good soccer play, because you're always supposed to follow up the ball in case a goalkeeper parries it, makes a save. So credit to Nuhu. And then I'm going to save maybe the best for last, because look, De La Vega's on a high. And his first goal, again, it was Danny Leyva coming down on the right-hand side, and then, Jesus gets the ball at his feet, and he toe pokes it over to Pedro, and he smashes it in the upper corner. That one was good. But the ball by Alex, come on, the ball by Alex, and then Pedro just one touch. I mean, that's really a tremendous goal, and that just put the icing on the cake. So I hope I answered your question.
You did, thank you.
Okay.
Coach, out of all those aspects today, set pieces, transition moments, possession, defense, holding that, clean sheet, is there anything in particular that you're just more, excited about, that you were able to pull in the perfect 90-minute performance in?
Well, look, it might not have been perfect. They hit the crossbar, the post in the first half. There were some moments. I thought our possession was very good. I think it ended up being like 55-45, but in the first half it was like 61-39. They're a team that values possession. So, look, again, Nico, yes, I'm going to let them enjoy this moment. They deserve all the accolades that they're going to get, both here in this room and nationally. But I have to keep them grounded as well. We're going to find ways to make sure that they come back with another strong performance.
Coach, you just mentioned Pedro's second, sort of the icing on the cake. Just going off the first answer to it, sort of felt like you're already in the process of kind of looking at the historical nature of this game. Looking at that goal, where does that rank in terms of impressive goals that you've seen from players in this club over your time here?
I mean, the execution, the technical ability, the ball that Alex plays, it's way up there. We've had plenty of highlight reel goals. We've had Clint Dempsey's arguably, well, not in my mind, he is the best true goal-scoring forward that this country has ever produced. We've had Obafemi Martins, we've had Freddie Youngberg. A shout out to my friend Jimmy Traore playing against Tigres in a game a few years back. Jimmy, don't take that as a bad thing. His volley from 40 yards out. Freddie Montero has scored a lot of golazos. We've had Raul Ruidiaz, Nico. Pedro, that was a unbelievably technically challenging finish, and he made it look easy.
If we could talk a little bit more about Nuhu, he was going through some disciplinary issues.
I have to?
There's a lot to talk about, of course, about Nuhu with the disciplinary issues that he was going in within the past month, going to.
I think he heard the message. I think he got the message. Look, Reed has done a good job, and Reed's a promising talent. Now he feels maybe a little bit of competition, and he knows that he has to perform up to his ability. He set a standard for himself for many years in many games for this club, and he has to stay disciplined because he can be a very good player for this club and help this team win games.
I feel like Nuhu's finally locked in going into the last stretch of the season after this performance.
I wouldn't say that. Look, Reed had a couple of good performances. We'll see. He's obviously the front runner, but, we'll see.
I want to talk about Snyder Burnell, just for a quick follow-up on that. He made his debut for the first team, recently signed for the first team. Of course, you could say his first game in the Rave Green was 7-0.
The only reason why I played him tonight, because I had plenty of options as the game progressed, but I might start him the next game, so I needed him to get a little taste. So that's a reason why he played, but his debut was good.
In a game like this, is there any point where, it goes from being a solid win to just comically good?
I don't know if it was comically good because I think some of our play and everything was just what we trained. Look, I'm going to give a good shout out and kudos to my good friend Preki, who's been with me for a long time, and he does a lot of good things, and he's got the guys moving, and he understands, and some of the playing in between the lines and the finishing. A lot of that work and a lot of that result comes down to the staff that I have. I mean, they do a tremendous job. I mean, Andy on the 2 set pieces, and Freddie with his defending and his attacking in midfield, and Preki working with Obed, and the young guys, Osaze. It's a team effort. And so would I call it comic relief or anything like that? No. You can watch South Park if you want comic relief. This was just a really, really good, solid win by the Seattle Sounders.
We have time for about 4 more. We will Jorge here in the room.
Coach, it seemed like the Sounders were falling offside a little bit more than usual. Was that something that was just the timing? Was
You're
it
trying to find the negative. I get it.
I'm trying to help you out to keep the players grounded.
Oh,
and then,
that's good. Okay.
And then if you could talk a little bit about the third goalkeeper, Mohamed Shur, and why you gave him the opportunity to be part of the
Mo
team.
is on the roster because you have to have 3 players on the bench, 3 goalkeepers on the bench, and Steph is not cleared yet. Mo is a tremendous talent, and he'll get his chances to develop. The offside is just a sign of a team that's on the front foot. I mean, yes, timing, reading body language, the sequence of passes, all of that sort of stuff. It's all important. But I don't mind if players are offsides because they are on the front foot. I do mind if they're offside, if they're lazy, they're not coming back, and then a ball goes over the top. So there's a whole little nuance there in that subject. But tonight I didn't mind the offsides because they weren't being lazy.
Buenas noches, felicitaciones por el triunfo. Es la primera vez que en partidos oficiales, bajo su dirección, el equipo ha logrado un marcador de 7-0. Y lo segundo, ¿qué factores consideró del primer tiempo para replantear el partido y ganarlo de la manera como lo ganó?
Good night, congratulations. First point, this seems to be the first official match under your direction with a score of 7-0. With that, the second factor, what were the factors from the first half to the second half that were changed to accomplish this win?
Well, I didn't change much at halftime. We talked about reinforcing the things that we were already doing well in the first half. There were some tactical changes for the left side because Ryan Kent, we were getting in behind their defense with Alex, with runs in behind on the right. But on the left, we needed to do a little bit more to try and actually play more vertical. And I think that worked in the second half. We got Ryan in an advanced position, and we wanted Nuhu to just be a little bit more in support, not always overlapping Ryan. So in that sense, that was the only minor change, but I thought we played fairly well in the first half. We just didn't score.
Bien, en realidad no tuvimos tantos cambios así en el intervalo. Simplemente pedí para reforzar lo bueno que ya hacíamos en la primera etapa. Hubo un pequeño cambio táctico al lado izquierdo, Ryan Kent, con Ryan Kent. Antes estábamos jugando bien con Roldan, se puso atrás de la defensa por el lado derecho, y necesitábamos ser más verticales a la izquierda también. Entonces pedí a Ryan que estuviese más arriba y que Nuhu estuviese soportando y no tanto haciendo los overlaps. Más que nada, hicimos una buena primera etapa, simplemente no señalamos los goles.
Bien.
We only have time for 2 more. I'll go in order here. Yep.
I wanted to just ask a quick question regarding your upcoming match, actually. You guys obviously have a history with Santos Laguna in Leagues Cup. How do you feel heading into that match based off your previous experience with them? and especially based off how the guys performed tonight against Cruz Azul.
I remember Raul scoring a very important goal for us against Santos. Then we took a bad result there many, many years ago, like 5-2. So it's a good history. But, look, the way the guys are playing with the confidence, I think they'll be ready.